20. Sadhuvadah tada tesham. Is this not live till now? Is it live? The symbol is not there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, it's live. It doesn't show now. It is live. Can you see? Video is up. Sadhuvadah tada tesham. Karma tattasya pasyatam. Bhuta preta pishachanam. Annesham tad viparyayaha. Sadhuvadah tada tesham. Karma tattasya pasyatam. Bhuta preta pishachanam. Annesham tad viparyayaha. Sadhuvadah tada tesham. Karma tattasya pasyatam. Bhuta preta pishachanam. Annesham tad viparyayaha. Sadhuvadah tada tesham. Karma tattasya pasyatam. Bhuta preta pishachanam. Annesham tad viparyayaha.
Sadhuvadastada Tesham Karma Tattasya Prashyatam Bhuta Preta Pishachanam Ayushantat Viparyaha Sadhuvadastada Tesham Karma Tattasya Prashyatam Bhuta Preta Pishachanam Ayushantat Viparyaha Bhagavatam Pashyam Bhagavatam Ayeshantapiparyam Sadhuvadasarabdesham Bhagavatam Bhagavatam Ayeshantapiparyam.
Yes. Online, anybody wants to chant?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sadhuvada sadate sam karma tatasya pasyatam bhuta preta pisachanam अन्येषां तदि विपर्ययः. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवासां तदा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेष पिशाचानां अन्येषां विपर्ययः तद्विपर्ययः.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु साधुवादस्तदा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवादस्तथा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवादस्तथा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः. हरे कृष्ण
प्रभु जी.
साधुवादस्तदा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवदास्तदा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतापिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः. थैंक यू प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
साधुवादस्तथा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययाः. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवादस्तथा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्यये.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी साधुवादस्तदा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, do fatafat.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवादस्तदा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवाद कर्म तथ्य शर्म भूत प्रेत शरण अनुस्तस्य.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. साधुवादस्तदा तेषां कर्म तत्तस्य पश्यतां भूतप्रेतपिशाचानाम् अन्येषां तद्विपर्ययः.
Anybody else? Okay, done. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, Yeti. The voice is clear? Hare Krishna, the voice is clear?
जी प्रभु जी।
Clear.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good.
Yes.
Sadhuvadaha, the joyful explanation. Tada, at that time, Tesham, of those followers of Lord Shiva, karma, action, tat, that, tasya, of him, Veerabhadra, ashyatam, seeing, bhuta preta pishachanam, of the bhutas, ghost, pretas, and pishachas, Anyesham, of the others in the party of Daksha, Tat Viparyayaha, the opposite of that, an exclamation of grief. Upon seeing the action of Veerabhadra, the party of Lord Shiva was pleased and cried out joyfully, and all the bhutas, ghosts and demons that had come made a tumultuous sound. On the other hand, the Brahmanas in charge of sacrifice cried out in grief at the death of Daksha. Upon seeing the action of Veerabhadra, the party of Lord Shiva was pleased and cried out joyfully, and all the bhutas, ghosts, and demons that had come made a tumultuous sound. On the other hand, the Brahmanas in charge of the sacrifice cried out in grief at the death of Daksha. Veerabhadra then took the head with great anger, threw it to the southern side of the sacrificial fire, offering it as an oblation. In this way, the followers of Lord Shiva devastated all the arrangements of sacrifice. After setting fire to the whole arena, they departed for their master's abode, Kailasha. Thus ends the purport of the 4th canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Frustration of the Sacrifice of Daksha. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Juhavaita chirastasmin Dakshinagno amarshitaha Taddeva yajanam dagdva Pratistat Gohyakalayam. Veerabhadra then took the head with great anger and threw it to the southern side of the sacrificial fire, offering it as an oblation. In this way, the followers of Lord Shiva devastated all the arrangements of sacrifice. After setting fire to the whole arena, they departed for their master's abode, Kailasha. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. So yesterday what we did was that we talked about the holy name, some glorification partially. Now today what I'll do is that my voice is clear? Very good? Good? Okay. Just type what you feel. Only good, huh? Okay. Okay. So what I'll do today is that I will expand on the glorification of the holy name from the Canto 6, Ajamila pastime. So yesterday we talked about from, this is chapter 2, Canto 6. Canto 6, chapter 2. We'll read some verses. Now this overall, I was not going along the text, but what was mentioned in 2 verses before was the glories of the holy name. The mantra is so powerful. And as I mentioned yesterday, when you talk about mantras being powerful, our focus is more on some material benefit from the mantra. Mantra chanting I do, and what benefit did I get? That is not the way to chant Hare Krishna mantra. When you're chanting Hare Krishna mantra, it is for the pleasure of Krishna. We are not chanting for our pleasure. Just like when you do kirtan, it is for pleasure of Krishna. Everybody is clear? When you're doing kirtan, it is for whose pleasure? Your pleasure, public pleasure, or Krishna's pleasure? Krishna's pleasure. The same way, when we are chanting Hare Krishna, doing japa, it is not for our pleasure, public pleasure, it is for Krishna's pleasure. Okay. So this aspect is generally neglected. So let me now talk about some glorification, some more glorification of the holy name, taking this opportunity here, because we don't know when this topic comes again, and most important part of our life is chanting the holy name. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam. Chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. Because this is what the Shastras say. So let us understand more the glories. Now this is taken from Shiv. Yesterday we talked from Chaitanya Charitamrita. I talked about the chapter in Antalila dealing with glories of Haridas Thakur. So I gave you certain instances yesterday. Instance of Haridas Thakur, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussion with Haridas Thakur, how the people will delivered. Then the first instance of Haridas Thakur being tested as a prostitute, and he not being disturbed at all. Actually, if you see, there is a background construction music, but is it disturbing the class? Yes or no? No, I hope so. Okay, so this is Haridas. So Haridas Thakur and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very worried how the people will delivered, and Haridas Thakur said delivered was chanting. The second instance of Haridas Thakur being tested by the prostitute. And the biggest actually danger in our spiritual life is Maya killing us. Okay, that's the biggest danger in our spiritual life. But we could see the Haridas Thakur could easily take up the test of Maya because of his sweet chanting. Isn't it what an example is set for us? If we can take shelter of the holy name, we can pass all the test of Maya. Okay? That's great. Then after that was Haridas Thakur discussion of the glories of the holy name at the house of Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar. At the house of Hiranya Govardhan Majumdar, Haridas Thakur pointed out, what did he point out? That a mere shadow of the holy name can deliver us from the cycle of birth and death, can save us from all the sinful reactions. The example was given of the life of Ajamila. Just by chanting the word Narayana, his life was saved. Okay? So today we continue on this now, Ajamila's life. Now, Ajamila was a very pious Brahmana by birth, and he was under the shelter of his father. And he was very, very much appreciated by all the residents, having wonderful sattvic qualities. But then, by his foolishness, by his carelessness, he fell victim to Maya. Okay. He was not in the platform like Haridas Thakur, but the prostitute could not distract him. Ajamila was not so mature. Even though he was in the path of bhakti, he was not so advanced. He fell victim to Maya. So Ajamila instance shows for us also, we are chanting Hare Krishna, but then Maya can capture us. We are like Ajamila. We are not like Haridas Thakur. Where you want to place ourselves, Ajamila or Haridas Thakur? We are like Ajamila. And not that Maya can conquer us, Maya has already conquered us. Ajamila was called husband of the prostitute. Very unfortunate position. So we are also in a very embarrassing, is it very glorious position or very embarrassing position to be captured by Maya? Is it a glorious position or embarrassing position? It is an embarrassing position. It's a very shameful position. Everybody used to spit at Ajamila. Thu! Correct? We are also like that. Haridas Thakur, when he used to go anywhere, thousands of people used to gather and pay obeisance to him, even though he was not from a Hindu family, because of his spiritual advancement. Even Lord Chaitanya appreciated him. But Ajamila position is like us, very embarrassing. If suppose in the TV connected here, our mind is put, we are actually not less than Ajamila. Nobody will honor us or pay obeisance. Everybody will say, Thu, shameless person. So we are Kalyuga, we are people like Ajamila. Therefore, Prabhupada made a special book for us, Second Chance. Second chance. Because if we want, we can take chance to surrender to Krishna. If we want. So surrender to Krishna is not difficult. We can surrender in a minute. We can surrender in a second. We all can surrender. But the point is that requires faith. And we don't have that faith. We can surrender. Correct? You can take shelter of somebody, but you should have faith in it. We should have love for that person. We should have respect for the person. Then you can say, Prabhuji, please take care of me. Take care? Just like we all have dedicated our life to Srila Prabhupada. We respect him. We love him. We've given our life to him. Okay? So you want to give our life to Krishna, you want to give our life to Prabhupada, you need some faith. Faith is needed. Faith is needed. Now that faith comes by chanting Hare Krishna. Otherwise, all doubts will remain. We need faith. How do you get faith? By chanting Hare Krishna. And how do you chant Hare Krishna? With the respect and love, with attention. If you chant Hare Krishna with respect and love and attention, then you will surrender one day by the blessings of the holy name. Iya hoite sarva siddhi tomar. In normal ages, you chant Hare Krishna. Now that process is always there. But Kaliga, this process is the only process which will work. You cannot gradually follow so many rules and regulations of karma yoga, then go to jnana yoga, then go to bhakti yoga, then surrender. That's not possible. There is no time for all that. So what do? Just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Therefore, Prabhupada used to call this a Hare Krishna movement. This is a Hare Krishna mantra movement. The only difference between us and the public is that we are chanting Hare Krishna mantra and people are not chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he traveled town to town, just chant Hare Krishna. Prabhupada used to sit in America, just chant Hare Krishna. He was not chanting so many other mantras to attract people. No, this is the mantra for Kalyuga. Iya hoite sarva siddhi tomar. Just by chanting this mantra, the whole success will come. We should have faith in that. Okay. So anyway, now let us take the life of Ajamila. Ajamila was chanting Narayana, the name of his son. It is very good practice actually that everything will change. If the country wants to change the name, they can do that. Change all the names to name of God. Your son's name, your father's name, your house name, your land name, your road name, your everything can be changed in the name of God. Even the currency note should have Hare Krishna. Everywhere they should see only Krishna name. Everywhere they should see only Krishna paintings. Just surround ourselves with the holy name so that we cannot forget Krishna for a moment. Anywhere you go, see a nice painting of Krishna, we think about Krishna somehow. Okay? If you can do that, every moment, do not hear anything which is not connected to Krishna. Very interestingly, any time I walk, yesterday when I was walking out, the workers are staying nearby, those who are making the sound, hard, hard, hard. So each one was in the mobile. That has become a shelter today. Give me some satisfaction, give me some happiness. And all stupid is that the laughter at the end of those silly jokes they have, same that sick laughter, everybody plays that, correct? So we have taken shelter of the mobile to make you happy. You have taken shelter. Is nobody lives without shelter. And we see the shelter that what you do when you are free. Okay? So from Ajamila life, which took shelter of the prostitute, like the mobile, let us take shelter of Krishna. That switch we have to make. Prabhupada say we don't have to change anything. Only subject we have to change. Instead of spending hours and hours hearing silly jokes, silly videos, why don't you read Bhagavatam? There is so much benefit in reading Bhagavatam. Shruti Phala. Shruti Phala. So now, the my dear king, the servants of Lord Vishnu are expert in logic. So there is a debate. Now Ajamila, when before he was about to leave the world, what did he do? He loudly chanted the name of Narayana. Everybody was spitting at Ajamila, except the Lord. Everybody. Father, mother was so disgusted, they left the house. The wife got so disgusted, she left the house. And but one person was still sitting in his heart. He did not leave him. That is the Lord. Therefore, Lord's love cannot be compared. Life shows many situations in life, only the Lord will be there with you. Actually, always the Lord is there, but sometimes he recognizes only he is there. Actually, he is the only place to take shelter. But in our foolishness, we take shelter of so many things which will give us happiness. Nobody can give you happiness. Nobody can give you protection. If nobody can even maintain you, only Krishna can do that. So now when he is in a Shishir Radha Govinda ki jai. So when he is in a very difficult position, Yamudata is going to drag. Only person who came to save him is Lord Vishnu. You see the situation. Because, why did that? Because in childhood, he did little service to Narayana. Can you imagine the heart? Yeah, he might have served so many other people also. He was quite a gentleman. But people, tolerance is limited. People are spitting at him. Correct? When he was in real difficulty of life, there was one person with compassion. That was the Lord. And he sent the Vishnudutas to save him. And incidentally, at the point of his death, he was also chanting the name Narayana because his last son name was Narayana. How was the last son name Narayana? That is again the arrangement of the Lord. He inspired him. Some readings are that Krishna sent some Brahmana at the time when last son's name was there. That's not in Bhagavad Purana. Some readings of other Puranas. But some readings are from within the heart the Lord inspired him. So two ways it is concluded. How did he do that at the end of the day? The last child in name of Narayana. So two explanations I have heard. But either way, it is the Lord who was thinking how to save him. Oh, such a nice devotee, he was so wonderful. But somehow he has fallen victim to Maya. Let me save him. Can you imagine the beauty? So they have come to save him. They are Yamudutas, Vishnudutas. Even if somebody wants to save him, he cannot save him. So many people will like to help us. In difficult position, they cannot help us. Only Krishna can help us in any position. So here they are. Who? Vishnu Dutas saving him. They're using their argument, they're using logic. How do I save this idiot? They replied as follows. Vishnuda says, alas, how powerful it is that a religion introduced in an assembly where religion should be maintained. Indeed, those in charge of maintaining religion indeed is punishing a sinless, unpunishable person. You see, who will protect you like this? Who will protect you like this? In such a difficult position, Lord Vishnu's arrangement, you are being protected. Can't you see this? His destiny is to be thrown into hell, burned in hell for millions of years, having done unlimited sinful activities. But he has now chanted and the move from leaving this body, the name of Narayana. So Vishnu is arranging him to protection. Who will protect you? Who wants to protect you? And who has capacity? Look at the details going on. They're using argument, they're using logic, they're standing in defense of you. Who will do that? Just think about this. Nobody will do that. Nobody has a heart for this, and nobody has a compassion like this. Standing with Ajamila to protect you. Life, sir, we will also face very difficult position. Always, it's only Krishna will protect you. Standing. His agents are standing right in the in the debate with Yamudutas to protect us. A king of the government official must be so well qualified. He acts as father, maintainer, and protector of citizens because of affection and love. What kind of king is this? They are actually referring to Yamaraj in a decision of Yamaraj. He said Yamaraj has erred in this decision. He should take care with affection and love. Nobody can match affection and love of Krishna. He should give the citizens good advice, instruction according to standard scripture. Should be equal to everyone. Yamaraj does this, for he is the supreme master of justice. So do those who follow in his footsteps. However, if such persons become polluted, imagine the protection being given, and exhibit partiality by punishing an innocent, blameless person. Where will the citizens go to take shelter for the maintenance and security? Nobody can match the mercy and protection of Krishna. That's the difference now. On one side is decision of Yamaraj to punish him, other side is the decision of Krishna to give him another chance. Who is most exalted in love and compassion? Krishna. But why doesn't this happen for every person? Because they don't take shelter of Krishna. You may ask, why is it that Draupadi only was protected? Why does so many women are not protected today? Because they didn't take shelter of Krishna. You think Krishna is partial? No, he is not partial. So similarly, Ajamila was a great devotee of Krishna in his childhood. He fell down victim to Maya, being not mature. He fell victim to Maya. He was not like Haridas Thakur, the Maya could not touch him. He fell victim. But still the service did not go away. Because of his service in childhood, Vishnu was thinking, how do I save him? Look at the heart. Look at the heart. Where he want to as a fool, where all we go for shelter. Look at the heart. Now they are arguing on behalf of Vishnu, arguing to protect him. Okay? Where the citizens go for shelter if you do such things. The mass of people follow the example of a leader in society, imitate the behavior. They accept evidence, whatever the leader accepts. So what is this behavior? They're challenging them, the Yamudutas. What are you doing? You are catching an innocent person. People in general are not very advanced in knowledge by able to discriminate between religion and irreligion. The innocent, unenlightened citizen is like an ignorant man, animal sleeping in peace with his head on the lap of his master, faithfully believing in the master's protection. If a leader is actually kind-hearted and deserves to be the object of living entity's faith, how can he punish or kill a foolish person who has fully surrendered good faith and friendship? They're saying that you people, you guys, should give protection to this person. He has taken your shelter, but what are you doing? You're punishing him when he's not punishable. Ajamila, now they're giving their reason for that. Ajamila has already atoned for all his sinful action. Indeed, he has atoned not only for the sins performed in one life, but those performed in millions of lives. Now, many of people, they cannot just accept it. When he presents this chapter in the level 1, people say, hey, it's a false saste mein bach gaya. So cheaply he got away. He just said Narayana, he got away. What about the wife? What about his parents whom he gave so much pain? Just he said Narayana and he saved away. Arey Baba, what is your problem? You also chant Narayana and be saved. You also chant Narayana and be saved. What is your problem? Who are you to decide? Saste mein bach gaya? If his heart is purified, who are you to object? The Lord is blessing him. So take the initiative. Now without attention, without love, he's chanted the holy name and he atoned. People are very much objecting why the Lord pardoned him for the sins of this life just by utterance of Narayana. That also not thinking about Narayana, he was thinking about the child Narayana, his son's name. So what you take home from this? Forget about Ajamila's life. That is not your problem. That is Krishna's problem. You think about yourself. Inattentively chanted the name Narayana, he got Vaikuntha. Why not I chant consciously with love, with attention? What is your problem? Now here we have Ajamila inattentively chanting the holy name of Narayana. He is saved from sins not only of this life. People's problem is that in this life, he gave so much pain to his wife. He gave so much pain to his parents, so much pain to public whom he looted, he plundered and murdered, what all he did. So how he got saved so easily? Sir, just hold on. Not only of this life, of millions of life, his sins were pardoned. You are nobody to decide yes or no. That's Lord's decision. Correct? Just like recently Supreme Court made a big decision, Article 370. Now nobody can object. Even government cannot do anything. It's final. So similarly, they are explaining the Lord's decision. And they are saying, it's not that they are giving reason and argument. They are explaining. That's the power of the holy name. Oh my God. So why don't I chant? Narayana, Narayana. Why don't I chant? Everybody should chant. So much benefit is there. Just by chanting the 4-letter word Narayana. If your sins are pardoned for millions of births, why don't I do that? Forget about this, Jamila. Arey Baba, not this life. Millions of lives sins are removed. And peacefully I can practice Krishna consciousness then and serve Krishna. Okay? But take shelter. Ajamila has already atoned for his sinful actions. But don't take a business of it. Okay, I'll chant Narayana, then I'll do sinful activities. Then I can chant Narayana. No, don't do that. If you try to cheat the Lord, Lord will cheat you. Don't cheat him. Accidentally, foolishly, we did some sinful activities. Now, let us chant the holy name of the Lord and try to live a pure life. The mark is for trying. Indeed, he has atoned not only for his sins performed in one life, but for those performed in millions of lives. For in a helpless condition, in tears in his eyes, he chanted the holy name of Narayana. Even though he did not chant purely, he chanted without offense, and therefore he is now pure and eligible for liberation. Okay. So everybody is ready to chant the name of Narayana? Okay. Narayana. Repeat.
Narayana.
Narayana. Narayana.
Continue now. Thank you. Everybody, see, if you now, Vishnu Dutas will stand for you, will protect you from Yamudutas. Let us continue. The Vishnu Dutas continued. Even previously, while eating another time, Ajamila would call his son saying, "My dear Narayana, please come here." Although calling the name of his son, never uttered the 4 syllables, Narayana. And simply by chanting the name of Narayana, in this way, sufficiently atoned for sinful reactions of millions of lives. Wow. So what is there? Yesterday at night, same thing. When I was walking, I was seeing all the workers are lying. All night, shelter of some silly jokes and silly news. Okay. Why not take shelter of Narayana? Take shelter of Narayana if you want to become happy. Take shelter of Narayana if you want to be purified. Take shelter of Narayana if you want complete satisfaction and happiness. And take shelter of Narayana if you want to go back to God. Every angle you have benefited. With the body, the mind, and heart, the soul, everything is blessed by chanting the name of Narayana. But we will not do that. The chanting the holy name of Lord Vishnu is the best process of atonement for the thief of gold or other valuables. Look at the glorification in Bhagavatam. From Bhagavatam, you can read the verses. Please also read the purpose. For a drunkard, for one who betrays a friend, one who kills a Brahmana, for one who indulges in sex with the wife of his guru or the superior. These are unimaginable aparadhas. Okay. It is also the best method of atonement of one who murders a woman, for the king or a father, for one who slaughters cows, for other sinful man, simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Vishnu. Such sinful person may attract the attention of Supreme Lord, who therefore consider, because this man has chanted my holy name, my duty is to give him protection. Just imagine what sins Ajamila did not do. He neglected his father and mother, they were on the street. His wife ran away home crying for the rest of the life. He plundered, looted, and did whatever sins possible. But he did not calculate this, that I will do all this and chant the name of Narayana. That would have been a sin. He did not do that. He slipped. He slipped. Just like we also keep slipping every moment. Our mind keeps slipping. He also slipped. And just like somebody holds a gun on your head, like that he slipped and started doing sinful activities. But then Krishna gave him a chance and he picked up the chance to purify himself. That's all happened here. Okay? By following the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies or undergoing attainment, sinful man do not become purified. Many of us get very attracted when we go to some temple, big homa is happening, we sit for hours, we do that, but it doesn't give that much benefit as by chanting once the holy name of Lord Hari. That's why I feel so unfortunate. So many temples are there, belt. This Mangalore is a temple belt, but people don't sit and chant the holy name of the Lord. Although ritualistic atonement may free one from sinful reaction, it does not awaken devotional service, unlike the chanting of the Lord's name. Instead of chanting the Lord's name, people are more attracted to ritualistic ceremony. But that ritualistic ceremony will not awaken devotional love for Krishna. People will remain on Karmakanda platform, but will not be able to awaken devotional love of the Lord, which reminds from the Lord fame, qualities, attributes, pastimes, and paraphernalia. Everywhere surround. In your house also put paintings everywhere. Everywhere you go, keep chanting, put the name, vibration. You have tape recorders, TVs, everything. Put the holy name of the Lord. The ritual ceremonies, the atonement, recommended religious scriptures are insufficient to clean the heart absolutely. Because after atonement, one's mind again runs towards material activities. So karma kanda things will not work. Some prayashita again you will do. Consequently, for one who wants to attain liberation through reaction of material activities, the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, glorification, name, fame, passion of the Lord, is recommended the more perfect process of atonement, because such chanting eradicates the dirt from one's heart completely. So, the process of prayashita will not totally purify the Lord, but the process of chanting Hare Krishna will purify the soul from the core, and person is relieved from sinful reaction, sinful tendencies. We see now after this, Ajamila will very sincerely repent for his sinful activity. That means purification happened. At the time of death, Ajamila helplessly and very loudly chanted the holy name of the Lord, Narayana. That chanting alone had already freed him from the reactions of all sinful life. Therefore, O servants of Yamaraja, do not try to take him to your master for punishment in the hellish regions. See condition. See, the Lord is standing with you to protect you. His agents are standing to protect you. Now, why should you chant anybody else's name? One who chant the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from reaction of unlimited sin, even if you chant indirectly to indicate something else, because he was chanting actually in the name of the child, jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. If a chant the holy name of Lord Hari and then dies because of accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of the house, slipping, suffering broken bones while traveling on a road, being bitten by a serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though it's sinful. Now, facing such kind of death means some kind of sinful activity will be there. Correct? You're not dying a normal death. You're dying some, painful death. But doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. Because you chanted the holy name of the Lord, washed away. Authorities who have learned, scholars, sages have carefully ascertained that one should atone for the heaviest sins by undergoing heavy process atonement. Suppose you have done big sins, in a jail there is big punishment. And one should atone for lighter sins by going lighter atonement. Take a common sense. But chanting Hare Krishna mantra, however, vanquishes all the sinful activities, whether heavy or light, doesn't matter. No, I did big sinful activity, doesn't matter. Holy name will wash it away. Although one may neutralize the reactions of sinful life through austerity, charity, vows, and other methods, such pious activities cannot uproot the material desires in one's heart. It is very, very difficult to remove sinful tendencies. Many people think, okay, let me go to the forest. Let me go some yatras. My heart is full of, Arey sir, sit down and chant holy name. These things are drama. However, if one serves the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, he is immediately freed from all such contamination. As a fire burns dry grass to ashes. The holy name of the Lord, whether chanted knowingly or unknowingly, burns to ashes without fail all the reactions of one's sinful activity. If a person unaware of the effective potency of a certain medicine, take that medicine or is forced to take it, it will act even without his knowledge, because potency does not depend on patient understanding. You put hand in fire, it will burn. Whether you know fire is hot or not. Similarly, even though one does not know the value of chanting the holy name of the Lord, if one chants knowingly or unknowingly, the chanting will be very effective. Shri Shukadev Goswami continued, my dear king, having the perfectly just the principle of devotion service, the reasoning and argument, the order carries the Lord Vishnu, released the Brahmana Ajamila from the bond of Yamadutas and saved him from imminent death. Who will protect you like this? Who will protect you like this? Please think about this. Ajamila needed protection at that time. Yamadutas had come. He was crying in fear. Who protected him? Krishna. My dear Maharaj Parikshit subdued your enemies after servants of Yamaraja had been answered by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu. They went to Yamaraja and explained to him everything that had happened. They explained to him all that had happened. Now see what happened. Having released from the nooses of Yamaraja's servant, the Brahmana Ajamila, now free from fear, came to his senses and immediately offered obeisances to Vishnu Dutas by bowing his head at his lotus feet. He was extremely pleased by their presence, for he had seen them save his life from the hands of servants of Yamaraj. O sinless Maharaj Parikshit, the order carriers of Supreme Personality God of the Vishnu Dutas, saw that the Ajamila was attempting to say something. Thus they suddenly disappeared from his presence. Why? Ajamila was not ready now for association. He has to purify. After hearing the discourse between Yamuda and Vishnu, Ajamila could understand the religious principle that Okay, I can do something clever. Supriti Mataji, can you read the purport? Hare Krishna. One. Yes. Chalo. Please read the purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes. After hearing the discourses between the Yamadutas and the Vishnadutas, Ajamila could understand the religious principles that act under the three modes of material nature. These principles are mentioned in the three Vedas. He could also understand the transcendental religious principles which are above the modes of material nature and which concern the relationship between the living being and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Furthermore, Ajamila heard the glorification of the name, fame, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He thus became a perfectly pure devotee. He could then remember his past sinful activities which he greatly regretted having performed. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Continue, Mataji.
Ajamila said, Alas, being a servant of my senses, how degraded I became. I fell down from a position as a duly qualified Brahmana and begot children in the womb of a prostitute. Alas, all condemnation upon me. I acted so sinfully that I degraded my family tradition. Indeed, I gave up my chaste and beautiful young wife to have sexual intercourse with a fallen prostitute accustomed to drinking wine. All condemnation upon me. My father and mother were old and had no other son or friend to look after them. Because I did not take care of them, they lived with great difficulty. Alas, like an abominable low-class man, I ungratefully let them in that condition. It is now clear that as a consequence of such activities, a sinful person like me must be thrown into hellish conditions meant for those who have broken religious principles and must there suffer extreme miseries. Was this a dream I saw, or was it reality? I saw fearsome men with ropes in their hands coming to arrest me and drag me away. Where have they gone? And where have those four liberated and very beautiful persons gone who released me from arrest and saved me from being dragged down to the hellish regions? I am certainly most abominable and unfortunate to have merged in an ocean of sinful activities, but nevertheless, because of my previous spiritual activities, I could see those four exalted personalities who came to rescue me. Now I feel exceedingly happy because of their visit. Were it not for my past devotional service, how could I, a most unclean keeper of a prostitute, have gotten an opportunity to chant the holy name of Vaikuntapati when I was just ready to die? Certainly, it could not have been possible. Ajamila continued, I am a shameless cheater who has killed his Brahmanical culture. Indeed, I am sin personified. Where am I in comparison to all auspicious chanting of the holy name of Lord Narayana? I am such a sinful person, but since I have now gotten this opportunity, I must completely control my mind, life, and senses and always engage in devotional service so that I may not fall again into the deep darkness and ignorance of material life. Because of identifying oneself with the body, one is subjected to desires for sense gratification, and thus one engages in many different types of pious and impious action. This is what constitutes material bondage. Now, I shall disentangle myself from my material bondage, which has been caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead's illusory energy in the form of a woman. Being a most fallen soul, I was victimized by the illusory energy and have become like a dancing dog led around by a woman's hand. Now I shall give up all lusty desires and free myself from this illusion. I shall become a merciful, well-wishing friend to all living entities and always absorb myself in Krishna consciousness. Simply because I chanted the holy name of the Lord in the association of devotees, my heart is now becoming purified. Therefore, I shall not fall victim again to the false lures of material sense gratification. Now that I have become fixed in the absolute truth, henceforward I shall not identify myself with the body. I shall give up false conceptions of I and mine and fix my mind on the lotus feet of Krishna.
What happened? Why you are interrupting? Because the moment association and devotee, the Vishnu, the Ajamila detached himself in the material conception of life with determination, thus freed from material attraction, immediately started Haridwar. Now look what Ajamila did. Ajamila took a decision to surrender to Krishna. When are we going to do that? Instead of finding fault, Ajamila got saved so cheaply. Ajamila took the opportunity and he surrendered. We are not doing that. Look at his decision. We can see the effect. Now, we are saying the holy name purified him. The effect is visible. Look at the words he's speaking. Can't we see he's purified now? Now, you can say a story. No, he was not purified. He's purified. We can see the way he's having regret, the way he is, the repenting for his sinful activities looks to be already effective. Now, determination. Look at the determination to change his life. Look at the determination. Now I will do something about all this. Detached material conception life determination. And now he left for Haridwar. In Haridwar, Ajamila took shelter at a Vishnu temple where he executed the process of Bhakti Yoga. He controlled his senses and fully applied his mind to the service of the Lord. Ajamila fully engaged in devotional service. Thus he detached his mind from the process of sense gratification. He detached himself completely from sense gratification. Became fully absorbed in thinking the form of the Lord. When you think about sense gratification, it will one day lead you to sinful activities. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yata indriya priti apanoti. This is what happened. Now Ajamila, the very root of it, thinking about sense gratification, he gave it up totally. When his intelligent mind was fixed upon the form of the Lord, then something happened. Again, those people came. 4 celestial Vishnutas came. He could understand that there were those who had seen previously that he offered them his obeisance, bowing down before them. Upon seeing Vishnu, Ajamila gave up his material body at Haridwar on the bank of the Ganges. He regained his original spiritual body, which is the body appropriate for associate of the Lord. Accompanied by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, Ajamila boarded an aeroplane made of gold. Passing through the airways, he went directly to the abode of Lord Vishnu, the husband of the goddess of fortune. Ajamila was a Brahmana who had a bad association and given up all Brahminical culture and religious principles. Becoming most fallen, he stole, drank, performed all abominable acts, even kept a prostitute. We are destined to be carried away to hell by the order carriers of Yamaraja. But he immediately rescued simply by the glimpse of the chanting of the holy name of Narayana. Just a glimpse. Just imagine. Therefore, one who desires, very important for us now. Therefore, one who desires freedom from material bondage should adopt the process of chanting and glorifying the name, fame, form and pastime of the Supreme Personality Godhead. Take shelter of the vibration of the holy name, at whose feet all the holy places stand. One cannot derive the proper benefit from other methods such as pious activities, some punya, speculative knowledge, some meditation in mystic yoga, all waste of time. Because even after following such methods, one takes to fruitive activities again, unable to control his mind, which is contaminated with the base qualities of nature, namely passion and ignorance. Can't you see Ajamila's mind was totally purified? Why did he chant? Because this very confidential historical narration has the potential to vanquish all sinful reaction. One who hears or describes it with faith and devotion is no longer doomed to hellish life, regardless of having a material body, and regardless of how sinful he may have been. Indeed, the Yamudutas who carry out the orders of Yamaraja do not approach him or even see him. After giving up his body, he returns home back to Godhead, where he is very respectfully received and worshipped. Just imagine, just by accidentally chanting on Narayana name, this all happened, and you don't want to chant. While suffering at the time of death, Ajamila chanted the holy name of the Lord. Although the chanting was directed toward his son, he nevertheless returned home back to Godhead. Therefore, if one faithfully, see Ajamila, okay, accidental chanting. Why don't we chant attentively? If one faithfully and inoffensively chant the holy name of the Lord, there is no doubt. Where is the doubt? Will return to Godhead. So how beautiful. Okay, so some more thing. Now Yamudutas go to Yamaraj and complain. So there will be some glorification of the holy name by Yamaraj now. My dear King Parikshit, O my Lord, Shukadeva Goswami. King Parikshit said, O my Lord, Shukadeva Goswami. Yamaraj is the controller of living entities in terms of their religious activity, but the order has been foiled. When his servant Yamuduta then informed him of the defeat by the Vishnudeva who had stopped them from, what did he reply? So this should be our curiosity. Our curiosity is so silly, it's whole day curiosity. He's Parikshit Maharaj, what actually happened? There must have been some interesting conversation. The Yamudutas would have gone to Yamaraj, say, Sir, your order is no longer, nobody cares for you. Your order was there, bring him. But somebody came and chased us away. So, what happened then? It must have been an interesting conversation. You see, this is what kind of curiosity we have. It shows what kind of great person we are. When Vidura met Maitreya, what was the conversation? When, Vasudeva met Narada, what was the conversation? What was the conversation? Because that conversation is useful. Correct? But we are interested in that thing. Oh, our dear Lord, how many controller rulers are there in the material world? They are challenging Yamaraja. How many controllers are there? How many causes are responsible for maintaining the very result? If there are many rulers, then one person will say this is good, other said this is bad. What is this management? Okay? If this universe there are many rulers and justice will disagree about punishment and reward, the contradictory action neutralize each other. No one will punish or reward. Otherwise, if the contradictory act fail to neutralize each, everyone will have to do both punish and reward. Either it will contradict, or everybody will be both punished and rewarded. How funny it is. Yeah? Yamudutas can do, since there are many different karmis or workers, there may be different judges or rulers to give them job, but there should be one center emperor who controls different rulers. There must be one supreme controller to guide all the judges. The supreme judge must be one, not many. They are intelligent. It is our understanding that you are the supreme judge, that you have jurisdiction even over the devatas. Our impression was that you are the master of all the living entities, supreme authority, described pious and punya and papa, actually human being. But now it is the punishment ordained under your authority is no longer effective. You are a useless master. Since your order has been transgraded for wonderful, that everybody appreciates, and perfect persons. We were bringing the most sinful Ajamila toward the hellish planet, following your order. When those beautiful persons from Siddhuluka forcefully cut the knots of rope which are arresting them. Sunas, the sinful Ajamila entered the nave. Narayana. These four beautiful men immediately arrived and reassured him, do not fear, do not fear. We wish to know about them from your lordship. If we think we are able to understand them, kindly describe who they are. Shukadeva Goswami, having been questioned, Lord Yamaraj, the supreme controller of the living entities, was very pleased, not shocked, not angry. Oh, my order? Who is the person? No. He is very pleased with the order carrier because of hearing from them the holy name of Narayana. So Yamuduta chant the name of Narayana when Yamaraj is happy. Oh, so wonderful. You idiots sometimes chant the name of the Lord. He remembered the lotus feet of the Lord and began to reply. Yamaraja said, my dear servants, you have accepted me as the supreme, but factually I am not. Same statement come from Brahma, same statement come from Shiva, but people will not read the Shastras. Correct? I am not. Above me and above all the demigods, including Indra and Chandra, is one supreme master and controller. The partial manifested personality of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Trimurti, originally Krishna, Narayana in the spiritual world, who are in charge of creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the universe. He is like the two threads that form the length and breadth of the woven cloth. The entire world is controlled by him, and the bull is controlled by a rope in its nose. Just as the driver of bullock cart ties rope through the nostrils of the bull to control them, the Supreme Personality Godhead binds all men through the ropes of his words in the Vedas, which set forth the names and activities of three orders of human society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. In fear of the members of these orders, all the worship Supreme Lord by offering him presentations according to their respective activities. Yamaraj, Indra, the king of heaven, Niriti, Varuna, Chandra, Agni, Lord Shiva, Pavana, Lord Brahma, Surya, sun god, Vishvasu, the eight Vasu, the Siddhyas, the Maru, the Rudra, the Siddha, the Marichi, other great rishis. engage in maintaining the department of the universe, as well as the best of the demigod Brahaspati. All the great sages as a Bhrigu are all certainly free from influence the two base material modes of nature, passion and ignorance. Nevertheless, all the way in the mode of goodness, we cannot understand the activity of the Supreme Personality Godhead. What then is said to others under the illusion merely speculate to know God. Just imagine. He is offering the list of all the top devatas. We cannot even understand him. He is so great. Our different limbs of body cannot see the eyes. What a beautiful analogy. The living entity cannot see the Supreme Lord who is situated as super soul in everyone's heart. Not by senses, by the mind, by the life here, by thought within the heart, or by the vibration of words can the living entities ascend to the real situation of Supreme Lord. The Supreme Personality Godhead is self-sufficient and fully independent. He is the master of everyone and everything, including the illusory energy. He has his form, qualities, features. Similarly, his order carriers, the Vaishnavas, are very beautiful, possess bodily features, transcendental qualities, and a transcendental nature, almost like his. They always wander within the world with the full independence. The order carries the Lord Vishnu are worshipped even by demigods, possess wonderful bodily features exactly like those of Vishnu, and are very rarely seen. Very rarely seen. The Vishnu that protect the devotee of the Lord from the hands of enemies, from envious person, even from my jurisdiction, as well as from natural disturbances. Real religious principles are enacted of Supreme Personality Godhead. Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planet cannot ascertain what real religious principle. Nor can the demigod or the leaders of Siddhaloka, to say nothing of Asuras, ordinary human, Vidyadhara and Chana. Lord Brahma, Bhagwan Narada, Lord Shiva, he gives a list of 12 people. The Kumaras, Kapila, the son of Devhuti, Swayambhuva Manu, Prahlad Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, grandfather Bhishma, Bali Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami, and I myself know the religious principles. Real religion. My dear servant, this transcendent religious principle which is known as Bhagavad Dharma, or surrender to the personality, Supreme Lord, a love for him, uncontaminated mental modes of nature. It is very confidential and difficult for ordinary human being to understand. But if by chance unfortunately understand it, he is immediately liberated and thus he returns home back to Godhead. Devotion service beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate religious principle for the living entity in human society. My dear servant, who are as good as my son, just see how glorious the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. How glorious is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. How glorious is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The greatly sinful Ajamila chanted only to call his son, not knowing that he was chanting the Lord's holy name. Nevertheless, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, he remembered Narayana, and thus he was immediately saved from the ropes of death. Therefore, it should be understood that one is easily relieved from all sinful reaction by chanting the holy name of the Lord and chanting of his qualities and activities. This is the only process recommended relief from sinful reaction. If one chant the holy name of the Lord with improper pronunciation, he will achieve the relief from material bondage. If one chant without offenses, Ajala, for example, was extremely sinful, but while dying he merely chanted the holy name of the Lord, all the calling his son, he achieved complete liberation because he remembered the name of Narayana. Because they are bewildered by illusory and Supreme Personality Godhead, Yagnavalka, Jai, many other compiled the religious scripture, cannot know the secret confidential religious principle of the 12 Mahajanas. They cannot understand the transcendental value of performing devotion service or chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, because their mind are attracted to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, especially the Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, Rig Veda. The intelligence has become dull. Thus they are busy collecting the ingredient for ritualistic ceremonies that yield only temporary benefit, such as elevation to Sargaloka, material happiness. They are not attracted to the Sankirtana movement. Instead, they are interested in Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So most of the philosophers and scholars are like this. Yagnavalka and all waste. So do not get lost into foolish philosophy. Considering all this point, therefore, intelligent men decide to solve all the problem by adopting the devotion service or chanting the holy name of the Lord. Is there somebody who can read? You raise your hand. A few more paragraphs. Yes, Sri Devi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Considering all these points.
Just wait, kindly read. Don't keep waiting for my signal. Just read all the translation, okay?
Hare Krishna. Considering all these points, therefore, intelligent men decide to solve all problems by adopting the devotional service of chanting the holy name of the Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart and who is in mine of all auspicious qualities. Such persons are not within my jurisdictions for punishment. Generally, they never commit sinful activity, but even by mistake or because of bewilderment of illusion, they sometimes commit sinful acts. They are protected from sinful reactions because they always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. My dear servants, please do not approach such devotees, for they have fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are equal to everyone, and their narrations are sung by the demigods and the inhabitants of Siddhaloka. Please do not even go near them. They are always protected by the club of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore Lord Brahma and I, even the time factor, are not competent to chastise them. Paramahamsas are exalted persons who have no taste for material enjoyment and who drink the honey of the Lord's lotus feet. My dear servants, bring to me for punishment only persons who are averse to the taste of that honey, who do not associate with the Paramahamsas, and who are attached to family life and worldly enjoyment, which form the path to hell. My dear servants, please bring to me only those sinful persons who do not use their tongue to chant the holy name and qualities of Krishna, whose hearts do not remember the lotus feet of Krishna even once, and whose heads do not bow down even once before the Lord Krishna. Send me those who do not perform their duties towards Vishnu, which are the only duties in human life. Please bring me all such fools and rascals. Then Yamaraja, considering himself as his servants to be offenders, spoke as follows, begging pardon from the Lord. O my Lord, my servants have surely committed a great offense by arresting a Vaishnava such as Ajamila. O Narayana, O Supreme and the oldest person, please forgive us. Because of our ignorance, we failed to recognize Ajamila as a servant of your Lordship, and thus we have certainly committed a great offense. Therefore, with folded hands, we beg your pardon. My Lord, since you are supremely merciful and are always full of good qualities, please pardon us. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Shukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reactions of the greatest sins. Therefore, the chanting of Sankirtana movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously. One who constantly hears and chants the holy name of the Lord and hears and chants about his activities can ever easily attain the platform of pure devotional service, which can cleanse the dirt from one's heart. One cannot achieve such purification merely by observing vows and performing Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Devotees who always lick the honey from the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna do not care at all for material activities which are performed under the three modes of material nature and which bring only misery. Indeed, devotees never give up the lotus feet of Krishna to return to the material activities. Others, however, who are addicted to the Vedic rituals because they have neglected the service of the Lord's lotus feet and are always enchanted by the lusty desires, sometimes perform acts of atonement. Nevertheless, being incompletely purified, they return to the sinful activities again and again. After hearing from the mouth of their master about the extraordinary glories of the Lord and his name, fame, and attributes, the Yamadutas were struck with wonder. Since then, as soon as they see a devotee, they fear him and they dare not look at him again. When the great sage Agastya, the son of Kumbha, was residing in the Malaya hills and worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I approached him and he explained to me this confidential history. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So very important is that keep chanting the holy name of the Lord, putting tilak, be the marks of a Vaishnava. Yamudutas get scared and they run away. You see that? Yamudutas, as soon as they see the devotee, they run away out of fear. So with the marks of tilak, kantimala, all these are very important because Yamudutas run away. Okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, nice. I hope you all enjoyed hearing this beautiful pastime. Hare Krishna, deep pastime. So we read these two chapters
Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much,
Clap.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhuji.
We got a chance to understand.
Thank you.
Narayana. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Narayana, Narayana, Swati.
Narayana, Narayana,
Narayana,
Narayana,
Narayana,
Narayana.
Anybody thinking Yamuduta will not come.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so
Hare
much. Such
Krishna
wonderful and a
Prabhuji.
blissful class. Thank you. Hare Krishna,
Yes,
Narayana, Narayana, Narayana.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Narayana.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Narayana, Narayana.
Narayana,
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 Narayana.
Narayana,
Thank you. Get some chance listening to